These are our favorite Toyotas of 2025. Which one's your favorite?
Hi, I'm Randy at Kentville Toyota, and this is the all-new 2025 Toyota Crown Signia. So this is the 2025 Signia. This is a color called Finish Line Red. Obviously, we've never seen this color on another vehicle from Toyota yet so far. Hopefully they'll put it on some of our other vehicles because it is outstanding. Design-wise, really cool car. Long, sleek headlight LED as well as the matching fog light. So really neat accents. We've got high gloss accents, the black against the red, both in the lower louver and the grille. You've got an interesting perforation here where it kind of fades in and out. Visually, it's pretty busy. I like it. It's a very interesting, bold stance. There are a whole host of sensors right here for the frontal collision avoidance. Radar cruise control is a combination of this and the camera in the front of the windshield. And this vehicle with the sensors in the front actually has a feature, I believe it's called swerve control. And how it works is if you're driving this vehicle and a bicycle or a pedestrian comes out in even close to your line of travel, is that the sensors will override and it'll actually veer the vehicle away from oncoming vehicles or pedestrians. Really cool feature. So from the front of the vehicle, very minimal but very aggressive stance. Really like it. So let's move on and go down the side of the new vehicle. So here we are on the passenger side of the vehicle. The first thing I see is we've got this really nice gloss black wheel arch here, and then obviously the high gloss black 21-inch alloy. That is the standard wheel package on this vehicle, is a 21. I have had a chance to drive this vehicle, and I've got to say, as big as that wheel and tire is, this thing rides like a dream. It is really impressive. So come back along. Neat features on this vehicle because of the trim and the quality of it. It's got a gasket in here that cuts down on road noise from the vehicle on the outside. Mud flap standard feature. You've got this higher arch here on the lower portion of the door that gives you visually grounds the car. Color matched door handles, obviously. And as I've said in a couple of these other show and tells, this vehicle has Toyota's standard feature of lock and unlock on the driver and passenger doors. Actually, now the key's not in the vehicle, I've set the alarm off. We're gonna have to edit this out. So now that I've stopped the alarm from going off, we'll come back here. You've got a nice high gloss panel all the way along here. This is the two-tone, so it does have a black roof, but even on the vehicles without the black roof, you do get this gloss panel at the top of the door. Again, really interesting wide wheel arch here, 21s in the rear, so you can rotate your tires. Come back here a little further, you'd have a conventional, just a reflector here, a mud flap on this car, and the wraparound taillight. Really interesting look. Ground clearance on this vehicle is around 6 inches. So again, all-wheel drive, electronic all-wheel drive, good ground clearance, big beefy wheels and tires. Visually, I think this car is really outstanding. I hesitate to say this, but to me, this is a luxury station wagon. Somebody will probably crucify me for saying that, but that's what it looks like to me. So let's come around to the back and see what we can find back here. So here we are at the rear of the Crown Signia. Strangely enough, nowhere on this vehicle does it say Signia, but it is a Crown Signia. The Crown sedan obviously is quite a bit shorter, very different looking vehicle. So this is the limited trim. Clearly it's all-wheel drive. No visible sensors back here. There is a camera here, and if I've read correctly, there's actually a little washer on here to keep this rear camera clean. And most people have observed with their older vehicles when winter weather, these can get crusted over and get hazy. So they've added a nice feature of giving you the washer on that. So there is the release button. Neat, it's got a complete wraparound tail light around the entire gate. Nice big opening, that's a nice feature. Tonneau covers standard. Good cargo space, flat floor is the first thing I see. Nice finish in here, it's all high gloss and gloss black. There is a spare tire in here. Hybrid battery, 12-volt battery also here on the floor. So if you ever need to change, or someone else needs to change your battery, I wouldn't recommend doing it yourself. Your 12-volt battery is in your trunk. Lots of tie downs, oh, there you go. There are the releases for the rear seats. from back here, that is foolproof. That is a nice feature. Lots of actually good usable storage space here. And as we've mentioned on some of the newer models, this is a 2025 Crown Signia. This has the close and also the close and lock feature, which is a nice addition that was on the precursor to this, which was the Venza. Venza also had that feature as well, but this vehicle essentially has replaced the Venza for 2025. The Venza is no longer available in Canada and the US, and this is the solution to replace it. So let's close that up. So one of the nice features they've added to this vehicle for 25 as opposed to the Venza is they have put the kick control in here. So if I can figure out how to do it, it will, there you go. It will actually open the lift gate with the swipe of the foot underneath. It'll also reclose it. So that is a nice add for anyone bringing packages to the table. So obviously you can do it with the kick or you can do it with the button here. So let's go around to the front and have a look. So here we are on the inside of the 2025 Crown Signia. Things that I see, first impressions when I get in here. Lots of stuff to digest. So obviously a programmable driver's seat, so power tilt and telescopic steering wheel and seat that can be reprogrammed with your door position. Automatic headlights. I see I've got the a washer on my front, my headlights that I can turn on. I've got a heated cowling for where your wipers park for the winter, which is nice to keep your wipers de-iced. The layout of the steering wheel is really quite sporty. It's a small steering wheel. Visually, for the position I'm sitting in, I've got great view of the instrument cluster here where I'm sitting. Obviously, your cruise control, radar cruise, lane departure assist, audio controls, all on the steering wheel. And this trim, so this is a limited. There is a tech package above this. But as far as basic features, this vehicle has everything from soup to nuts. I've got to say this really does feel like a Lexus to me, and I have had a chance to drive this, and I've got to say I am tickled by this car. I'm not a car guy, but I would love to drive one of these consistently because it was just such a beautiful drive. It's so quiet, lots of power. So heated and ventilated seats. So these are perforated seat bottoms and the backs. Again, pretty good airflow here. This is the next generation technology, and the level of heating and cooling was really impressive. Wireless charging, which is really high output. That was awesome. Drop your phone in, it charges quickly. You've got a couple of USB-C charging ports here. Again, this is Toyota's traditional 2.5 liter hybrid drive in this vehicle that most of our vehicles are based on. I've got to say the power output of this particular configuration was really impressive. Fuel economy is stated at 6.5 liters combined. We've had a couple customers who've had these and driven them for a little bit. They're saying they're doing better than that, but again, those are the stated numbers, which are fantastic. The configuration here, lots of controls, high gloss finish, which is really nice. Very similar to the interior of the loaded Prius, the shifter and the configuration of your drive modes, very similar to the Prius. Really nice fit and finish here. Everything is still analog, which is really nice, with the exception obviously of the head unit, which gives you your connected services. Toyota has added in the full suite of connected services to keep you connected with your dealer for service, as well as Safety Connect. Lots of things. You can, start your car. You can turn on your heated seats. Yeah, the technology in these is really impressive, and tell you the truth, a bit beyond me, because I do not interact with this stuff on a regular basis, and it's quite a learning curve to get familiarized with it, but the functionality is very user-friendly. And one of the simple things I really like, a volume knob, something that notes back to early automotive days when you reached up, you found the volume and you turned it up and down. So as far as seating position goes, I'm going to put this where I would like to be. It's funny, there actually gives you an audible warning when you're moving the seat up and down, back and forth. I don't know what that's for, so you don't crush your cat. Not sure. Anyway, the sunroof is outstanding. We've got an acre of glass above my head here. The cabin lighting is fantastic. I've got to say I'm really impressed by that. One interesting feature that we'll get some shots of here is this vehicle is the first to have a default rear facing camera that actually gives you a projection rearview mirror. So I'm sitting here right now looking into this, and I am looking actually at a digital screen. So there's two settings here. you can actually have it as a digital screen that I'm seeing now, so that the rear is full of people or full of packages, you've got cargo in there, and you wouldn't naturally have a line of sight. The camera, which is on the outside of the vehicle, gives you a full line of sight as if there's nothing behind the driver. So it's great for safety and for visual, both on the highway and for parking. Really nice feature. And again, if you're a little freaked out, which some of us are by some of this technology, you can turn it off and it works as a conventional mirror as well. So it's a screen or it's a mirror, it's whichever you're comfortable with. But as far as a safety feature goes, I really like the rear-facing digital cameras they give you on the rearview mirror on a lot of our newer vehicles. On the Crown Signia, the brightness of this is impressive. The visibility, the clarity is outstanding. So let's go put me in the back seat, see what the seating position is here compared to somebody, again, 5'10" driver set with the seat set for me. So I'm going to shut the car off so we don't gas ourselves in the showroom and go have a look in the back. JBL speaker. I know this vehicle actually does come with a 12 speaker JBL system. Awesome audio, really outstanding. Good open door space. The opening is nice and wide, nice and clean. So hop in here. Oh yeah, this is like super comfortable. Like great cushion. It's firm yet it's soft. It's kind of a neat combination. It's like I'm selling mattresses now, but I'm not. It's really just the back seat of the Signia. So close the door. So I see a clearance light for anyone coming by. It's kind of a European touch that there's lights on the bottoms of the doors so that when they're open, people can see the doors are open. Nice large cup holder here down low. Good convenient height for me to be sitting here. Again, at 5'10", I don't have the longest legs in the world, but I've got a ton of space here. It looks like I could easily be 4 inches taller on the leg space, no problem. I have a reasonable amount of headroom with this vehicle. My head's not touching, so I'm not worried about that. And again, I have a long torso, and if I can sit here without touching, I'm pretty happy about that. Pretty common for me to have issues with headroom in the rear of some of the cars. So pocket on the rear of both seats for storage, nice touch. Ventilation is here, well placed, easily accessible. 2 charge ports for USB-C. Again, cup holder, good configuration, good height. I've got to say, incredibly comfortable here, and a big roomy cabin with this light coming through this panoramic roof is outstanding. I've got to say, you could put me in here and drive for all day. You'd probably find me asleep after a few minutes, which would be perfect. It means you're comfortable. So this would be a fantastic vehicle to travel in for long distances, or as a commuter vehicle, because the fuel economy is ridiculous. It is all-wheel drive, and boy, I'm really impressed with the comfort here. This is impressive. I've got to say, I'm not a real car guy. This is the first Toyota that I've seen since I've been here with the Toyota brand, almost 10 years now, that I've been excited about this car because it is just outstanding. Everything we've seen about it and all the drivability is really impressive. I've got to say that we look forward to having more of these and getting some customers in them as time goes by. So let's have a look under the hood and pretend I know what's under there. We'll talk a little bit about that in just a second. Okay, so let's have a look under the hood of the 25 Crown Signia. So, huge hood on this vehicle. That is one comment I had from a customer. They said, boy, that is a really big hood. Again, it really doesn't matter because you're not going to be under here much unless you're a Toyota technician. So, prop rod location, clearly marked. Everything here is nice and tidy. So again, this is the newest iteration of the 2.5 liter Toyota hybrid drive. Again, average consumer, the only things you're really going to be concerned with are where's the prop rod, where do I put my washer fluid, it's right there. You can check your own oil. Aside from that, everything here is a mystery to me. I know that they traditionally have great service record, they last a long time. It's really impressive to see this beautiful color paint under the hood. No one's ever going to see it, but it is in good shape. So anyway, there's the tour. Nice insulation under the hood. That's about all I have to say about this because that's way beyond my pay scale. So thanks for your attention. I'm Randy at Kentville Toyota. This has been the 2025 Crown Signia. Please like, follow, comment, respond, criticize, do whatever you feel like. Thanks for your time. Hi, I'm Randy at Kentville Toyota, and today we're going to talk about the 2025 Toyota Tundra TRD Rally Edition. Okay, so here we are at the front of the 2025 TRD Rally Edition. Visually, you get all kinds of neat cues on this truck that we don't normally see on a lot of our trims of this vehicle. This is new for 2025, and they've really changed things up visually. Mechanically, it's very similar to what most people are used to in our standard Tundra, but this one is dressed up a little. So the first thing I see is a matte black grille, all plastic, really low sheen, really utilitarian. And of course, you've got your heritage badging, which is new for this year, and it's only on this actually trim of truck in the TRD Rally Edition. So again, it echoes back to the 80s when the Toyota truck first came to North America. Visually, again, not a lot to see here aside from it's a little, I won't call it underwhelming, it's meant to be a little under the radar. So you see your fog lights, and you still have the sensors for the frontal collision avoidance and the front park assist. So let's go down the passenger side and see what visually we see about this package on the truck. So here we are on the passenger side. The first thing that catches my attention is the conventional badging on our Tundras is missing. That is intentional. They didn't forget this at the factory, so no badging on the front fender. And you have this really nice high gloss 18-inch wheel. This one actually is paired with an LTX Michelin, nice tire package, and the heritage badging on the center of the wheel, really dynamic, catches your eye, really is quite a statement about this truck. So we come back, you have a color match top of the mirror, you've got a high gloss black on the bottom of the mirror, and again, the translucent turn signal is visible here. Again, no badging on the door as we're used to. The heritage badging has replaced everything. It gives you a nice accent piece on this gray truck. Really nice feature. I like that combination. And again, a matte door handle both on both doors on this side. Again, very minimal. So as we work our way back towards the rear of the truck, again, the matte black wheel arch is a nice feature. It ties back in with the door handles, and again, the heritage wheels emblem in the center. So coming back again, no badging left on this truck. It is a nice, clean, modern look. Yeah, I really quite like it. This one should be a winner for this year. So let's have a look at the back and see if any of the functionality, anything has changed back here. So here again on the rear of the 2025 TRD Rally Edition, really minimal. Badging's gone. Obviously the punch out on the tailgate is still there, still visible. Doesn't draw a lot of attention to itself, which draws the eye obviously back to this. That's the real accent piece. Functionality is you still have your electronic release on your tailgate, the rear facing camera here that we both see, and obviously the rear sonar for parking. Now, neat features is this vehicle is equipped for towing, and it has the 10-pin and the 5-pin built in and the hitch. So on the dash of this vehicle, you can actually turn off these sonars so that they actually let you back up to your trailer. Or otherwise, if you leave them turned on, it will warn you and it'll try and stop you from colliding with something. That something would be intentional as your trailer. So really, visually, the back of this truck is really nice and pared down, and the nice little accent piece here. So again, let's wrap around the truck and see if we see anything else of any interest. Okay, so here we are at the driver's side of the 2025 Toyota Tundra TRD Rally package. And visually, the first thing I see is a whole bunch of neat stuff in this truck that you normally do not get on a lower spec truck. So the first thing I see is a TRD steering wheel, which is a nice feature. Visually, you get a leather seat, which normally you have to go way up in the food chain to get. And not only is this a standard leather seat, this particular one has the heritage piping built into the seat. So we have both orange, yellow, and red stitching throughout the seating of the truck. Really nice add feature. Right out to the doors and on the headrest. So again, visually really dramatic. I like it. So feature-wise, what am I seeing here? I'm seeing the automatic headlights, which is pretty standard fare. I'm seeing the auto on-off for the start-stop feature as far as the gas engine on the vehicle. We have the daytime running lights on and off, trip odometer, and frontal collision avoidance. All the features are right there, pardon me, all those switches are right there. Power driver seat, which again, you do not normally get on an entry-level truck. So on the steering wheel, again, here's your normal features that you see on these Tundras. Audio controls, lane departure assist, radar cruise control, your cruise control, all of those standard features here. And when I look at this, so we get the push button start with the TRD start package that again, you don't normally get on an entry-level truck. Again, so that's a nice add. You also get the trailer brake control is built in for this vehicle, and the brake hold that I can see down here by the shifter. So the normal functionality we have here, great big armrest, lots of space. You get 2 very generous cup holders here, 2 more on the back, lots of layered storage here in the armrest, which is a nice feature, and Toyota's newest generation of audio controls. So again, Android Auto as well as Apple CarPlay built in, and Toyota's normal host of inherent navigation and those kinds of things are built into this vehicle as well. So great layout. Again, odd combination that we're not used to seeing in this truck is that normally to get leather and this functionality, I would get a sunroof, but again, no sunroof in this package. So not a big deal with your truck, but again, the added features you get with the TRD and the TRD, the TRD shifter and a bunch of these other things is it's a nice combination of visual cues and functionality. So let's set the seat here for the driver. It's actually not too bad. I'm going to go in the back and see how the layout is and the spacing is for rear passengers in this truck. Okay, so here we are at the rear door. So obviously with the height of this truck, no running boards on it yet. I do like the practicality of this door handle. I don't have any mobility issues whatsoever, but being able to put a hand up here to help get up in this because the sill is above my knee height. So let's pull up in here. Again, leather seating, really nice configuration. Big, generous cup holders, water bottle holders in the passenger door. You've got a speaker here, storage pocket in the front. Again, you've got multi-layered storage here for your rear passengers. Again, cup holders, more non-slip surfaces, which is nice. And there's a tray in here that you can pull out and clean, which is a nice feature. And USB-C and USB, I don't know what you'd call it, basic old school USB there, I guess is what I'd call it, and they're both charging ports. They're both higher voltage so you can charge a device. So again, tons of room. I can't imagine how tall you would have to be not to fit in this leg-wise. Again, if you had somebody well over 6 feet there, and I'm guessing you would have giants who could travel in this truck quite comfortably. So armrest, let's see what we've got here. Okay. Again, a little smaller armrest than there would be in some of our other vehicles proportionately, but again, good size. Cup holders are there. Very comfortable, I would think, for 3 passengers here quite easily for extended periods of time would be very comfortable. Defrost in the rear window is a nice feature that I see. Good lighting here, LED lighting, which is nice and bright. The reason it's not coming on is this truck hasn't even been PDI'd yet, so a bunch of the functionality is not actually working. So that, based on my experience with the other trucks, good lighting in here if you're actually doing any work or if you're using a laptop here or something, very good functionality. Okay, so we're going to pop the hood as we always do in these videos, show you what's under the hood of this 2025 Tundra. So again, I go fishing for the latch from right to left. That's pretty easy. So that's a nice feature. Hydraulic open on the hood of this vehicle is a nice feature. So this again is our conventional 3.5 liter twin turbo V6. No change here. There are a couple of different configurations to this truck. Obviously there's the hybrid drivetrain, there's the basic drivetrain we're looking at, and there's also a D-Spec SR trim that actually has a little less horsepower, a little less towing capacity that's available for what conventionally we would say is more of a work truck. This is meant to be more of a work and play kind of configuration. So for the average consumer, the things you're going to see, coolant expansion tank that you're probably not going to interact with aside from a visual check periodically to make sure everything's kosher under there, your washer fluid, and the oil dipstick right here for you as a consumer to check your oil. Aside from that, the whole host of sensors in the dash, pardon me, this is not the dash, this is the grille. So the matte grille, there's sensors back here, both for frontal collision avoidance as well as your radar cruise control, all built in here. Again, for me, I really have no more knowledge of what's under there than you do, probably less in some cases. So if you have any questions, post them in the comments and we'll get back to you and answer any questions that I am clearly not qualified to answer. So I'm Randy at Kentville Toyota. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, leave some comments, leave some questions. We really appreciate your time. Thanks for watching. Hi, it's Randy at Kentville Toyota, and today we're going to have a look at the 2025 Toyota Tacoma TRD Sport. Let's have a look. So on the front side of this 2025 Tacoma TRD Sport, you see some obvious signs. The interesting thing between this, the SR5, and this being the TRD Sport, the immediate thing you see is the hood scoop. Just a little offset on the front of the vehicle to make it a little more interesting, make it look a little more aggressive. Also here on the front side, you get a matte black plastic grille inserted into the color match painted exterior. You get the forward-facing camera, and you also get lots of sensors in the front for frontal collision avoidance as well as for parking sensors. This particular unit, base truck, comes with an LED headlight, but the TRD Sport also comes with an LED fog light you see here set way down in the lower bumper. As we go down the side of this truck, we notice that this is actually this was a new color for 2024. It carries through into 2025. It's called Underground. Really nice, rich, deep gray. This particular trim gets a color matched wheel arch that goes along with the body color. TRD Sport comes with an 18-inch alloy wheel and tire package. This one actually comes with a Michelin, really great quality tire, and the TRD wheel centers, nice offset, the red against the black and the gray is a nice visual. Come down the side of the vehicle, you get your turn indicator on the exterior of the mirror, as well as your blind spot monitoring is also in that mirror. Interesting observation on this truck, there is a camera here. That is part of the blind spot monitoring and rear cross traffic alert system. It just gives the vehicle more data to digest as you're on the road with lots of things going on around you. So come back down the side of the vehicle. The TRD Sport does come with the color matched door handle as opposed to the black on the SR5. You do get a nice blackout badge. This customer in particular has requested the TRD Sport running board as an aftermarket accessory. It's a nice accessory put on, visually grounds the truck, brings your eye down. So as we come back down the driver's side of the vehicle, again, 18-inch wheel, color matched wheel arch here, TRD Sport badging on the side, and a nice color matched rear bumper on this vehicle. Rear backup sensors, obviously in the rear bumper, comes back around. It is color matched, which is a nice configuration on this trim level. Bumper all inset with the tow feature built in. There's your hitch. Receiver comes in the trucks in the rear behind the seats. So this one, all color matched. A lot of clientele are really liking putting in the blackout badging or the insert badging on these. A nice accessory to add. This customer hasn't done that yet, but hopefully will in the future because it really does offset it. And you get a really high quality camera here. So when you're backing up to hook up your trailer or just in a parking lot, you get a great big screen in the cab of the truck with a great camera. It gives you a great visual indication of where you are in space and time, and you can back up to your trailer without, hopefully without touching it and damaging your new truck. So let's go on to the inside of the vehicle and have a look. Hi everybody, it's Randy from Kentville Toyota. I just want to let you know that if you're in the market for a used vehicle, please look us up at Kentville Toyota and mention the YouTube videos and we'll have a special incentive for you. Thanks for your business. So here we are coming in from the driver's side of this TRD Sport Tacoma. Some interesting visual cues above the SR5 trim. TRD bit written right in the door panel visually. Nice big pocket. There's two levels of pockets here, one with cup holder slots in it and just a general storage bin. This trim level truck does come with a 8-way power driver seat with lumbar support. This generation of truck compared to the last generation, seat quality and the seating position I find way better than the previous generation of trucks. I generally have a long torso, and the previous generation truck I had a really hard job getting comfortable in. This one fits like a glove for me and just my body type. So excellent seat, leather exterior, perforated, it would be the right word, interior insert on that just for comfort, and lots of bells and whistles here on the dash for the operator from this side. So 3 different auxiliary ports, switches already built in here if you want to add accessories, more charge points, power points throughout the truck. If you want to modify and customize your truck, there's already built-in punch outs here with switches that are already back into the fuse panel, so it makes it very user-friendly to make modifications without cutting into the wiring harness of your new Tacoma, which would be a no-no, bad for your warranty. You do have automatic headlights as a standard feature on this vehicle. You can trim with your headlights depending on your towing position. If your truck's sitting low in the back, you can change the angle of your headlights high and low just so you get A, better visibility, and B, you don't burn the eyes out of people that you're coming towards on the highway. 120 volt AC outlet in the back for 110 volt utility, I guess, for lack of a better term, if you need to use some power tools in the back of the vehicle that are not too intense in the draw. It's meant to be for small things like a cooler, you know, auxiliary lighting, audio, that kind of stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna hop in the seat, see how comfortable it is, see how quickly it adjusts. I will say that running board was a nice add for getting in there. The TRD Sport comes automatically with an aluminum set of pedals, which is nice. Visually, it's quite attractive and good grip on them. They do have a rubberized pad built into the aluminum pedals themselves. Sitting here as a driver, lots of technology on this truck. The switches are very industrial. I really like the outlay of this, pretty interesting side. The knobs are large and coarse. You got good grip on them. They feel very industrial and very user-friendly. So this configuration of the truck is the non-hybrid version. It is the iForce Max 4-cylinder turbocharged engine on this vehicle. Great power on this truck. All the reviews we've had back from the current owners driving the 2024s and the few 25s we've already delivered, customers have been extremely happy with the combination of the transmission and the new engine. Lots of power, fuel economy is good, seems to have lots of towing power. Completely digital dash, and you can customize it a little bit in the settings. Very simple layout, tachometer on the right, speedometer on the left. The big screen here is a really nice layout. I do like that. This new generation of connected services from Toyota Canada has been very well received by the consumer. And you know, great quality audio, good layout, good interface either with Apple or Android users. Everybody's really pretty happy with the way this works. This particular trim level of truck does have dual climate control available, heated seats, all the usual configurations. Lots of interesting stuff here on the transmission. Tow mode, haul mode, 4-wheel high, 2-wheel high, and obviously 2 low. And all of our trucks now come with an automatic parking brake, which is a nice feature. But because of some of the safety features, they've had to add a couple of other features here. Is that you need to tell the truck when you're about to back into a trailer, because otherwise it detects you're about to have a rear collision. So you use the button here to let the truck know that it is you're intentionally approaching something, so that it doesn't put the brakes on for a safety feature. Most of our truck drivers do use them for some sort of functionality. So if you are towing a trailer, Toyota has added this awesome feature combined with the cameras that are all the way around the vehicle. And when I press this, I'm just going to do a little visual, and you'll see that there is, I literally put a chair beside the truck. In this animation mode, it looks a little goofy, but it clearly shows you that there is something on the driver's side of the vehicle so that you can have a good once around to know that you're going to back into or drive over anything. So there's the top-down view. There's literally a chair beside the truck that I put there just so that it would have some indication of what we're looking at. And even though it looks like an AI generated picture, well, it is of the truck, but the floor tiles and everything you're seeing around the vehicle are from those camera views. So really good functionality for you figuring out where things are in space around you before you start moving around on a campsite or around your garage, hooking up a trailer, you know, make sure the kids' bikes aren't under your truck or anything else that could get in your way and ruin your outing with your truck. So really nice feature on this TRD Sport is that it does have that surround view camera. It's an awesome feature that they've added for 2024 and 25 moving forward. So neat feature there. Okay, so here we are at the rear of the TRD Sport Tacoma. So I'm just going to hop in here as a passenger. Step one, nice, big, robust handle here to help you get in. If you do not have running boards on the truck, this would be a great feature for the kids or anyone with any stability issues, just to help you get in. So I slide in here. Again, I have the seat very, very liberally set for myself. It's a little further back than I actually needed it to be. Again, I'm at 5'10", so I'm sitting in this rear seat. I've got to say, really impressed, really comfortable. It's quite an upright seating position, but I can adjust that here on the side. This is just the way it came from the factory preset. As I'm sitting here, good, comfortable seating position, lots of headroom, surprising amount of headroom. And what I see here for functionality, there is a conventional 110 volt plug. Again, charge your computer. I don't think you want to run a hot plate back here, but obviously there's lots of options. You need 110 volts. You've got 2 charge ports there for USB-C, well configured. As far as layout, I don't see my conventional cup holders that I expected to see here. Am I missing something? I don't think I am. I don't think there are any cup holders here. So there's my expectations all shot to pieces. There are 3 water bottle holders in the door to my side. There's 2 cup holders here that I'm going to assume that you as the rear passengers can use here, especially if you've got a third person sitting here. And I see equal numbers of cup holders or water bottle holders the driver's, in the passenger side. So I will say, great layout. This seat is surprisingly comfortable. Obviously there's no armrest here because I can't find one, or if there is one, you can tell me in the comments and I'll just be really embarrassed about how I showed you a vehicle that I didn't know anything about, but hey, that's par for the course. There is a storage pocket on the rear of the passenger side, but there's not on the driver's side. So overall layout here is really very good. I am noticing visually there's quite a hump here in the ceiling that would accommodate the sunroof for this trim level of truck. So in the SR5, you're getting a little bit more headroom and visually a little less invasion here. But again, even with the sunroof, certainly not feeling pinched for space whatsoever. So let's go have a look under the hood, see what we can find up there that is of any interest to you. So here we are at the front of this 2025 Tacoma. Oh, there it is. I found it fairly easily that time. So swipe from right to left. You do find the release. It's on the bottom side. Slide it across. This particular vehicle's been undercoated, so it's a bit gooey under here, but if you're planning on keeping your Tacoma as long as it'll last, it being gooey is to your advantage. So the things that the average consumer can see under the hood of the 2025 Tacoma: washer fluid, pretty well marked, easy to find; expansion tank for your coolant, which you probably will not have to interface with; air cleaner, the usual suspects. There is the oil dipstick there for you to check. This is a 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. And again, for the majority of us consumers, aside from putting washer fluid in and checking the oil, there's really not a lot to see up here that you can tell. I can tell what a whole bunch of this stuff is. There is your battery position, so that it is a good, easily accessible spot for someone to come in if you do need to boost the battery, because it's not a matter of if the battery dies, it's when the battery dies, and it could be 10 years in, but when you need to, well-located battery, easy to change. That may be something that the backyard mechanic can do, but for most of your service needs, a Toyota store or another certified shop is probably your best bet. So I'm Randy from Kentville Toyota. This has been a walk around on the 2025 Tacoma TRD Sport. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have enjoyed making messes and making you laugh as I show you things I don't understand. Have a great afternoon.